Hello, it's Tanya and Amelia from Coffee Catch-Ups podcast, and this is Coffee Catch-Ups Espresso on Cross Rhythms Radio. Hi Amelia, how's it going?
Hey Tanya, I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I am good, and today we are talking about a subject that affects all of us, pretty much all of us anyway.
Pretty much, yeah.
But we are talking about social media.
Yes.
Fun. You
Big
use
one.
social media, don't you?
Yes.
How many social media accounts do you think you have?
Oh, I reckon, including like WhatsApp, I think I potentially have about 6 or 7.
Oh,
maybe?
yeah. Did you know the average for our age is 8?
Is it?
Yeah.
Goodness me, that's quite big actually.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It's crazy. And I've got lots of facts and figures on social media because I thought I'd do some research since we're on the radio and
Yes, very prepped.
So when this study was taken, which was in 2023, I almost said 2003 then, there were 4.8 billion social medias worldwide. That's representing a whopping 59.9% of global population.
Wow.
And if you have access to the internet, so it's 92% of everyone who has access to the internet.
Oh my
And
goodness.
that was last year,
92%.
so I'm sure it's gone up. Yeah, crazy. I've got a question for you.
Okay.
How long do you think you spend on social media a day?
Oh, I mean, it depends. I mean, so I do this social media for the podcast, and I also have like some stuff to do for work. But outside of that, if we're just talking about my own personal accounts and scrolling and things, potentially like at least an hour, maybe more.
Yeah, well, probably more is what is what I would guess, because worldwide, the average, I mean, I was blown away by this fact. The average spent on social media per day is 2 hours and 28 minutes.
Oh my goodness, that's got to add up to like at least a year of your life.
Yeah.
Over your entire lifetime, hasn't it?
Add it up. But I was thinking about it. Last year I decided I would use one of those apps which like limits how much you use your social media.
Yes, I've got one of those. That's good.
And so I set it for like I think an hour for each one, like Instagram, Facebook, and I used it up so quickly before. Like even in the morning, I was like, oh my goodness.
It's a little bit scary, isn't it? Sometimes how quickly it uses up, because I've got similar limits.
Yeah.
And it's really crazy how quickly it goes when you're just scrolling.
It is crazy. We spend so much time on it. But actually, it's a relatively recent like thing. 2007 was the first smartphone.
Yes, of course.
And so I think we're the generation, we're in our late 20s, soon to be 30, not talking about that. Where we grew up in the birth of social media.
Yes, very much so.
And so what perhaps is worrying about social media is that because it's such a huge part of our life, it's everywhere. Every company wants to advertise on social media and will probably spend more now on social media advertising than they will on television.
So true.
But we don't actually have any long-term studies into the potential side effects, positive or negative, of social media. What do you think? Do you think that social media is a good thing?
I think in itself it's not a bad thing, but I think it can lead to a lot. Like, comparison is one of the biggest issues, I think. It's so easy because people sort of curate their feed sometimes, don't they? And you've got people who are professional influencers and professional social media people who present a very kind of idealistic looking life. Like, they've on social media, they've got the perfect home, they've got, they're good looking, they've got a very good looking partner, they've got beautiful children, and they travel every 5 minutes to exotic and beautiful places. And so I think it's very, and we're not bashing influencers at all, like, good for you if you can make money from this kind of thing. But it's very difficult to not compare yourself to those kinds of people.
So, and that's the danger. That's the danger.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk more about the dangers of social media and about the positives of social media as well, and how we can make social media a better place right after this song. So yeah, it's interesting what you're saying, Amelia, about the kind of some of the negative side effects, because when I was doing research into the effects of social media, I came across studies that really highlighted the effects, particularly on young people and like adolescents. And since 2005, the rate of adolescents reporting symptoms of major depression and mental health issues has risen by 52% from 2005 to 2017.
Goodness me.
From 2009 to 2017, it grew in adults as well, in between the ages of 18 to 25 by 63%. So young people have seen a big rise in mental health problems. Now, obviously, there's no direct provable link to social media, but if you were to ask the population, and they've asked lots of people, and they do studies on everything, don't they? But 1 in 3 adults would say that social media is harmful and has links to mental health. And so it's worth us having a discussion about, I think, because I think you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone who didn't think social media potentially had the issue to make people feel very jealous, exasperate perhaps cyberbullying. We see it, I mean, the comments section on things.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Atrocious.
Is generally awful. Like the things that people say. I would hate to be like big levels of fame because it doesn't matter what you're doing, you're not pleasing, like somebody's angry, somebody's gonna say something horrible. And maybe, you know, we hide behind the screen and we bully people on social media. And then what you were saying as well about seeing other people have all of this that I don't have, and we get sad about our own lives. And we've certainly talked about that on the podcast. So Amelia, do you think we should get rid of it? Should we get rid of social media?
Oh, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because the immediate instinct is like, yes, absolutely, because it's potentially causing all of these issues. I think it's actually very dependent on the person. Actually, if you are seeing that social media is exacerbating all of these feelings of maybe jealousy, maybe loneliness, maybe if you're getting cyberbullied, like absolutely, that's a really horrible experience. But I think it's very dependent on the person. And actually, I have taken kind of social media breaks. I often give up social media for Lent, because I think I just find it a really refreshing time. And I think it's really healthy to take significant breaks on that. And I found that when I came off social media for Lent, my time was not nearly as consumed on my phone. I was spending a lot more time doing other things. I was so much more productive. And it's really interesting actually, like not massively, but to a certain extent, got slightly less preoccupied with people's opinions of me. It was really strange.
Interesting. Yeah.
Really interesting.
Because it's interesting the subtle difference. That the thing is we don't realise because social media is actually addictive.
It is.
Like it creates like dopamine, I think is the word, in your brain, where when you get a notification, you know, you actually get a dopamine hit. But because you're seeking that, you're constantly looking at your phone. Like how many times the phone thing sometimes reminds me of the One Ring in Lord of the Rings, where you like, if you've ever left your house without your phone and you're like, oh, where's my phone? Oh, and you start to panic. Oh, where's my phone? And, you know, I'm not saying that's just social media, but there is a thing with getting notifications, being in constant contact with people. It's exhausting.
It is exhausting.
It's exhausting.
It's really tiring.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think there's a lot of problems and there is a lot to say. Cut it out if you can.
Yeah, for sure.
Or cut back and things like that. So I would love, there's been times in my life where I've really wanted to cut social media out.
Yeah.
But I can't because of my job. I'm an actor.
Yeah.
And so I have to have social media. There's an expectation. And so right after this song, we're going to talk about if you can't give up social media, but you feel like you want to, how can you make social media an easier place for you to be in? How can we, in our own lives, make our news feeds and our social media stuff much more healthy and hopefully start to tackle some of these bigger issues around social media?
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll be right back. Okay, so we've established that social media isn't always the most helpful thing.
No.
We've established it can make us feel really, and sometimes we can bully people on it or be bullied via it. Is it all doom and gloom? How can we can't get rid of social media in society. This isn't utopian. We can't just click our fingers and get rid of it. It's a thing that exists.
Yeah.
So how can we make a positive change? What are your thoughts?
Well, I think partially what we were saying before, actually, about if you need to take a break, take a break. It's okay. The world will not collapse around you. I can say that from personal experience because it feels like it might at some point.
Did you miss it out of interest?
I did. Do you know what? I found myself scrolling on my emails. It's really strange.
That is hilarious.
It's so weird.
There isn't anything in this world that I would want to scroll on less than emails.
It's crazy, but it's the addictive part of it. You just, it's really odd. Or like, I don't know, something stupid like the Little Plus app. Like, it's really funny.
Days. The Little Plus app.
And terribly sad. But no, I think in terms of making social media a much better place, it sounds really cheesy. Be the change. Be the person who is uplifting in the comments section. Be the person who is kind.
Nice.
Be the person who comments on somebody else's photo and goes, "You look amazing." There's absolutely no need for all of the hatred that is spewed on social media. Just be kind. Be kind. And also, I think, limiting your time on it is really healthy. We've both got apps. Just look up if you need an app to do that. I would really encourage you to do that and set some healthy limits for yourself.
I think that's really wise. I also think getting into a habit of it, because a question to everyone listening is, what's your dream way to wake up? What's your first thing? If you could paint it out like your Barbie dream house of how to wake up, how would you want to?
That's a really good question, actually.
Because often the first thing I do is look at my phone, which is bad.
Yeah.
But actually, if someone were to ask me, how do you want to wake up? And I would say, I'd love a beautiful sunny day, wake up, listen to some music, or, have a read of a book, go and get some healthy breakfast, and maybe, if I was dreaming big, swim in the sea, things like that. But I'm picking up my phone and I don't want to.
Yeah.
So even things like, cultivating healthy habits of, I'm not going to start my day with this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I loved also what you were saying about be the person that comments well, because, social media is a bit of a maze of stuff.
Yes.
And quite often it's there to get a reaction from you. And remember that social media is often working on 4 seconds of information that's designed to create a reaction, designed to make you angry or outraged or comment on something. And so you open the comments section and you see people that are outraged, but they might not have read the full article. They might have just read the headline. They might have just seen this small snippet and they're offering their opinion. Yeah. What is it if we just be slightly less quick to have our outrage voiced?
Absolutely.
Does this comment actually help the situation? Yes, a comment saying, you look amazing, this is fantastic, keep going. And I really struggle with this because sometimes as an actor, I get periods where I have no work. And I, on social media, will see my other acting friends booking work and I am jealous. I'm really honest, I'm jealous because I don't have work and I want work. And one of my friends, he gets loads of work and he always posts it on social media. And I am jealous. But I make myself go, well done to him. This is amazing. Keep going. Be the encourager, because when you're the encourager, often it creates a chain reaction of other people encouraging.
Yes, so true, so true. Unfortunately, we have nearly run out of time for today, but if you would like to listen to more of us chatting about social media, we have actually done a full episode on Coffee Countdown's podcast about social media, particularly talking about comparison. So if you would like to listen to that, go to our socials, we have a link tree in the bio on our socials, and you will find the episode there. It's episode 2 of series 1.
Excellent. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.